teachers, and welcome to this special video created for you. Now we are going to start learning how to create online examinations using Google Forms, and the next session is going to be for teachers who don't know much about computers. Okay, they have used computers a little bit, but they don't know exactly what an address bar means and what a search bar means and stuff like that. So we'll just go through some of these things. Okay, I have opened a browser. The browser that I'm using right now is Firefox. Other browsers that you could use are Google Chrome, you could use Safari, you could use Internet Explorer, you could use Edge. So it doesn't matter what browser you use, all of them are similar in functioning. Every browser has two parts where you can basically type. One is this part, which is called as the address bar, and one is this part, which is called as the search bar. In the address bar, you write down the address of the site where you are going to. That means you know the site, you know that it is careers.casc.org. This is the site. So where will you type? You will type in the address bar. But if you are looking for something, say images on something, or names of the say images of the football players of Brazil, so you can type the thing. You can write images of football players. Now this is not the name of a site. I'm looking for something. So if I'm looking for something, I will write it in the search bar. So once you press enter here, it will actually show you the images for some football players. Okay, so I hope things are clear to you, that when to use an address bar and when to use a search bar. So both of them have different things. So please remember, the links that I am going to give you are going to be written in the address bar because they are direct links. I'm not asking you to search for them. They are the links. Alright. Next thing that I want to talk about is Gmail. All of you should have a Gmail account. You should know how to log in and out of a Gmail account. You should remember the password and stuff. If you don't, then create another one and remember the password. Now I have already logged into Gmail account. I would want you to focus on these 9 buttons on the top right side, which we are going to start off things tomorrow. Okay, or whenever we have our session. So this is the starting point for our forms. Okay, so this is basically Gmail account, my emails, and this is actually called as a launcher. So it actually launches the various applications. In a browser, you see things on top. These are called as tabs. Okay, so the first tab is an empty tab, and the last tab is also an empty tab, and the middle one is actually containing a form. All these tabs have a cross on the right hand side. That cross is basically used to close the tab. So if I want to close this tab, all I need to do is click on this cross. That tab is closed. And if I want to create a new tab, you need to click on the plus sign. It automatically creates a new tab. Alright, so let's forget about this tab. Let's forget about this tab. Now this is the tab which we are working on right now. Now let me now show you a form. We are going to start creating forms. Now please remember, you need to know what the components of forms are before you actually start creating them. Alright. Now this form is basically containing a header. This is the title of the form. Now I have divided this entire form into a number of sections. The first section actually shows you one type of a response from a respondent. Why do we actually use a form? The form basically could be used for various things. Like number one, it could be used to conduct a survey. I want to find out what people's hobbies are, where do they want to go, what do they want to spend, and so on and so forth. Second is something like collecting information about staff or students. For example, I actually sent you a form a few days ago asking you for your email IDs and phone numbers and stuff like that. So that was actually also a form. The third kind, which we are basically interested in right now, are actually forms which will be created, which will be sent to students containing questions. They will answer them. The questions are going to be in the form of a question paper and they are going to answer them. The answering from the students can actually be, the scores can be calculated by the form itself, so you don't even have to check which question is correct and which answer is wrong. So the computer system is going to check by itself. The limitations and everything we will be discussing later on, but I'm just giving you a brief on what we are supposed to do. The first kind of a response that we could get from a user is basically a short answer type. A short answer type is something like, please enter your name. Naturally, I cannot give choices to students or anybody to the respondent. He could be anybody, so he'll write. So I've written my name here. Okay. Now next question, which contains an answer of checkbox type. Now this is a checkbox type. Checkbox type we have a number of responses that can be there, and all are basically selectable. Okay, so that means I can select the first one or the second one or the third one or the fourth one or all of them, or I can leave these two out, or I can leave everything out. So I may not select anything, I may select everything. So by the way, this question is of that kind only, isn't it? Which subject or subjects do you like? I may like more than one subject, so I'll say English and Hindi, both of them I like, or I like only English, or I don't like any subject at all. Okay, so this is a special kind of an answer which is of which type? Checkbox type. The first one was short answer type. You need to remember that now. Short answer type, checkbox type. Alright. Next one I'm going to give you is multiple choice type. Multiple choice type is basically, we have multiple choices, only one of them is selectable. So that means if what is 2 plus 3 has only one answer, so I'll have to type here. But I could have typed here, naturally 5 will go now, 6, 2 will go now. So that means whatever you select, it will select only one. So what is the difference between a checkbox and a multiple choice? The difference is that in a multiple choice I can select only one, and in checkbox I can select all or none. Now I am going to give you different kinds of multiple choice. Please remember, this could be with checkbox also, but I am giving you using multiple choice. Alright. Multiple choice with pictures as options. I could have given a question like this: what is the logo of Snap Homework? So I gave them 4 pictures and they need to figure out, okay, which one of these is correct. People select this and they answer this. I can have a question with picture as a question. Okay, so again we have multiple choice here. The choice is multiple choice, but I'm giving I'm giving picture as a question. So this is the flag of which country? So I've given them a flag, the picture of a flag, and I need to select which one. It is actually Austria. Fine. Next question is having video as a question. So the question is below, but what I have done is I have given a video on top. So the student or the user goes through this video. Okay, so I go through this video and then I pause it or finish it. Then I'll go to the question at the bottom and then figure out which answer it is now. It is Steve Jobs. Okay. Now these are the multiple kinds of questions that I have created using multiple choice. I could have created them using checkbox also. So a checkbox containing pictures here, or a checkbox containing having a picture as a question, a checkbox containing a video on top. So it could be with a checkbox or whatever. I could have a short answer type also, it doesn't matter. but I've given you various kinds of questions that we can create. The next type, the fourth type, we have done 3 types. The first one was short answer, the second one was checkbox, the third one was multiple choice, and the fourth one is drop down. Now in a drop down, the answer to 16 minus 5 is 11. I could have given the choices like this vertically using multiple choice, but I have given using a drop down. So a drop down is now containing the choices. Now there is no difference between a multiple choice and a drop down. Okay, you can select only one. So functionally both of them are exactly the same, but you can see visually they are different. Like multiple choice is taking space vertically, it is taking up too much of space, and whereas this is not taking up space at all. This is not taking space at all, it's just one line. Once you click on it, then it goes down. Okay, now suppose I just have 4 answers, 4 options to select from. I'll probably use multiple choice. But suppose I want to find out from which state has the largest population, and I want to give the list of 28 states or 26 states, whatever it is. What do? Do I give a multiple choice? If I give a multiple choice, it is going to go into multiple pages, so it will be long list to go through. But so what will I do? I'll actually create a drop down containing a list of all the states. Okay, the last part is basically to display to teachers who are actually teaching Hindi and Punjabi, Hindi or Punjabi. Now we can basically give questions in Hindi and Punjabi also. So this is my demonstration to them. The only problem with Hindi and Punjabi is we cannot ask them to type answers, because they would probably not be able to type answers there. So we cannot give them short answer questions for Hindi and Punjabi. We can possibly give them multiple choice or checkboxes or drop downs. I have given you 2 questions. I hope the spellings of everything is correct. So the first question says Bharat ki Rajdhani ka kya naam hai, and the choices are Nai Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai. So the user selects whatever he selects from here. And next question is in Punjabi, Bharat di Rajdhani da ki na hai. Again you can select whatever you want to select. So it's very easy to work on forms in Hindi and Punjabi also, so it doesn't matter at all which language we are working on. I could be basically creating it in Tamil or Urdu or Persian or Japanese for that matter. Okay, now I hope things are clear. Let me just go through the components of a form again. First is short answer type. I can type anything, so it's up to me. Okay, next is checkbox type, where we have multiple answers, but I can select all of them, any of them, none of them, it's up to me. Then is multiple choice, where multiple choices are there, but I can select only one of them. Next is multiple choice again with pictures as options, multiple choice again with a picture as a question, multiple choice again with a video as a question, and lastly is drop down. In a drop down, again it is similar to a multiple choice, but it doesn't actually take up too much of vertical space, and you can select from whatever you want to select from here. Lastly, I told you about how to that I informed you that we can create a form in Punjabi and Hindi also, and it is very easy to create. Forms are very easy to create, so that is not a big deal at all. So once I am through with you, you will all be okay with this. Let me tell you, in the last session I had almost 56 teachers, out of which 51 teachers created perfect online examinations. Okay, and rest of them, in fact, they have just sent me, they have also created very good forms. you need to practice on this. Basically, if you practice more and more and more, create more and more forms, you will be able to work on this. Okay, my session, total session is over. The next part of the session is basically how to teach Hindi and Punjabi teachers how to actually type in Hindi and Punjabi in case they don't know. So my session has ended for everybody. So everybody can stop the video now. The teachers of Hindi and Punjabi can continue into the next part of the session. Okay, so it will take another 2-3 minutes to figure out how to type in Hindi and Punjabi. Okay, so I'll start off a new tab. How to type in Hindi or Punjabi? We need to go to a site called google.com/inputtools/try. Okay, now I will give these links in the description below, so you can go from there. Okay, you don't need to write it down. Alright, now the tool to write in Hindi or Punjabi is in front of you now. What you need to do is go to this drop down. Please remember, this is also a drop down. So from this drop down, because this is a large list, naturally they have given a drop down. Okay, I'll select maybe Hindi because everybody knows Hindi. Alright, select this language first in which you actually want the transcribing to happen. Now I want to write something in Hindi. What you will do is you will write in English. So for example, if I want to write mere, so I can write mere. You will find this, it automatically gives you some options like mere, meri, mere, and so on and so forth. Now first number one is actually the one that I actually want, so I can just press a space bar and my word automatically appears over there. Okay, now I want to write pass is fine. I want to write save. Now I don't want to write save, it has actually selected sub. I want save, which is number 3 option. So what I need to do is go to option number 3 and click on it. Save will be selected. So press the space bar if number 1 is the one you want, or you can click on any of those options. If you find that you cannot get any of the options, then you need to tweak your word in English a little bit here and there to create the correct word. सेब का पूरा बाग is number 2 है. Okay, मेरे पास सेब का पूरा बाग है. Now I've created the entire sentence. All I need to do is select from here, copy from here, and paste it into your form. We will do form later on. Okay, so creation of typing in Hindi or Punjabi is not difficult. In Punjabi, all you need to do is go to the language, go to Punjabi, and mere kol seb is number 4 here now. Da पूरा बाग है. Okay, oh, it has taken bag, so anyway, my mistake. So we can change that. So we can just need to select that, delete it. Bag, probably this bag, I hope so. So writing in Hindi or Punjabi is not very difficult here. Creating a form is not difficult at all. Okay, so I hope we have understood how to type in Hindi or Punjabi. Copy and paste, you should know. Okay, copy and paste. Copy is Control C, paste is Control V, anywhere. Okay, now this session is over now. I would suggest that all of you watch this video a number of times till things are clear in your mind as to what is a form. Okay, I'll see you next time. Whenever we start the session, I will be sending the message later today. Thank you for your attention. Please watch this video a number of times. Thank you so much.